Hey everyone, it's Patty from pspapercrafts. Thanks for joining me today for another Friday Fun Fold. I can't believe we're at the end of March. We're going by my calendar, my inspiration calendar, and it's the last Fun Fold, drop down gatefold card. I've made this before where it flips up, so you can do it either way. If you want this calendar, this is a calendar I send to my email subscribers every month, and it just has some inspiration. And I make a fun fold or a technique on Fridays. I do a color combo on Thursday and a sketch on Saturday, and then there's other just ideas to give you inspiration. So sign up for my email list and you can get this each month along with my weekly newsletter, any updates that I have from me or from Stampin' Up. So there's a link below this video where you can get subscribed to my email list. Okay, so I am just about done with my April calendar, and I'll be sending that out since we're already at the end. So we are doing the drop-down gatefold. So there's a million different gatefolds, but this is the one where we have a belly band, and then you open it, and this drops down. Okay, but again, if you would rather have it flip up, you can do it either way. It's just how you put your designer series paper. You know, it would be upside down this way. So you want to make sure that whichever way you want it, you put your paper in the right place and then your inside layer. Okay, and then I love this Friends are Flowers in the Garden of Life. And that is, let me just put this together. Sometimes you have to bend it a little bit to fit it in the belly band. Okay, so let me show you the products I used. I used this paper, so pretty, so bright and springy, and this is the Floral Delight Designer Series paper, and there's lots of pretty yellows and greens and things like that. And then this is a nice piece to have as well. It kind of looks like a textured piece of burlap or something. And then the sentiment is from the You Are Remarkable. I love all of these sentiments. You are remarkable in every single way. Sometimes the simplest things meet in the most. So, and then the flowers. So on the inside, I just did this. I thought it went well. There's this little bee, very cute. I added some butterfly. One of my favorites is the brass butterfly, or brushed brass butterflies. These are beautiful. I added a big one here and a couple of little ones. And I used some linen white ribbon. And I am going to use the same stamp set and the same ribbon. I'm just going to change up the paper on the next card. What else did I use? Oh, and I used this hexagon. Is it the hexagon punch? So this is kind of cool, and it just punched this out, and I turned it this way to fit this sentiment in. So let's get started with today's card. I have a lot of the pieces cut, but the base I'm going to cut with you. So we're using fresh freesia as the base, and then these are by 2 panels. This is an inside the flip panel, and then I have an inside layer, and then I thought I would, I'm going to see how this looks. The belly band I cut from the designer series paper. So the first thing we want to do is make our card base. And you know, I watched a bunch of videos on this, and I really looked at Connie Stewart's. She had, to me, the one that I thought was easiest, and I thought there would be 2 pieces of cardstock, one to open and one for the flip, but she did it all in one. So let me get my trimmer out, and we are going to, on the 8.5 inch side, we'll put that up at the top, and we are going to score it at 2 1/4, 2 1/8. I'm sorry, where are we? 2 1/8, not 2 1/4. So we're going to go down to the 8th mark, and then we'll just score this. And then we're going to turn it and do the same thing on this side. So 2 1/8. And I will have all of the instructions in a project sheet. There will be a link below this video in the description called Project Sheet, and that link will take you to pictures, instructions, product shoes, the whole 9 yards. Okay, and then we are going to score this. So this is the 11-inch side, and we will score it at 5.5. Okay. So your piece is going to look like this, kind of like a, I don't know, an H maybe. So now what we're going to do is cut, and it's hard to see. We're going to come out. So this is a little tricky because when you fold this card, you want a little extra room. So we scored at 2 1/8. We're going to go to 2 3/16. So that's the little ticky mark between the 1/8 and the 1/4. So it's 2 3/16. And we're going to come down and we're going to cut down to this score line. So let me get rid of that. And there's just a little trick that I have. Let me see if I could find a... If you put this in here, it just shows you. You're going to come down to this line, but it really is 5.5. So it just kind of lights this up for you if you want to use that, or you can use the score line. So it should be 5 1/4 or 5.5. And then we're going to do the same thing on this one. So this is kind of a light cardstock, so it's a little easier to see, but sometimes on the dark you really need this. Now we want to flip this over because we're going to go to 2 3/16. So 1 ticky, 2 ticky, 3 tickies. It's right before the 1/4 inch mark. And I'm just going to put this down here, and this is probably in the right place because it's where I left it off. So this just kind of turns the light on, and you're going to go up. Okay, so you're a little bit in from the score line, and I'll show you why we did that in a minute. All right, so now we're going to go and we're going to cut off along this score line down to the cut mark. And what Connie said was just cut it, and as you're getting close, just pull on this piece, and it will just, as soon as you hit the where it meets, you're done. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to go into that score line, and we're going to push this down and pull this up, and as you get closer, just start pulling on it, and it will let it go right when you reach that mark. Okay, so I know it probably seems a little tricky, but you could stop and rewind. It does make sense when you look at it, though. All right, so let's fold this over and burnish this down, and then we're going to burnish these in. So you'll see what I was talking about. This is a little bit out further. Otherwise, if this was right here where this folds down, there'd be a lot of bulk and it wouldn't lay very flat. So it's nice to just trim off a little bit. Okay, so we've got this. Oh, let's see, we're going, if you want it to fold down, you're going to have everything laying this way. If you like it folding up better, lay it this way. But just make sure when you put your designer series paper pieces that you have them going in the right direction. So these pieces, each one of them, and these are a lot of like very small measurements, so you just really have to pay attention. So these are each 1 15/16, just so that they fit nicely on here, by 5 1/4. So the 15/16 is that little ticky right before you get to the 2 inch. It's just one little ticky before the 2 inch. So let me get my adhesive. And we'll just put this down here. Again, you want to make sure it's going the right way, and these are going the right way. Which way did they go? I guess this can go either way. Seems like these are going up. Well, I'm going to put it this way. This is one of those that you could probably go either direction. And I just want to center it around the border. Here, it's probably easier to see with it opened. Okay, and then we'll do this side. And we'll put this here. So what I did on this paper, this is the 12 by 12 paper, and let me show you it. I don't think I showed it to you. And what I did was I cut 1 15/16 a strip down. Here's the paper. This is so pretty. I love this. I love hydrangeas. So this is the Lovely Garden Designer Series paper. And so I just cut this 1 15/16 down here, and then I cut it to 5 1/4, 5 1/4. But isn't this gorgeous? I wanted to use this, but I thought the pattern was too big for these little flaps. I thought we would lose these big flowers, but it is gorgeous. This is where I'm getting the belly band, and very pretty paper. Okay, and then this is gorgeous as well. So I love florals, if you haven't noticed. So I make a lot of floral cards. So we have these pieces, and then what you can do, you don't have to put something on here. You can leave it like this, or I put something on the other card. I put a piece of Designer Series paper. I don't know if I want to do this or this. I feel like this is getting washed away in this. And then I thought with this, the green leaves and this would go well. So we're going to go with the green leaves. Now this piece is a little bit smaller than our normal layer. This piece is 3 7/8, so it's the 1/8 before 4, and then 5 1/4, because this is narrower than your standard inside. Okay, so I hope these measurements, again, I will have them in a project sheet in a link below this video, so you can take a look there if you want. There's my dog snoring. I must be doing a video because Bailey's snoring. And then I'm going to stamp the flower, or the leaves from this set. The You Are Remarkable. I'm going to do these leaves in garden green. So I have my garden green. And on this one, I'm going to stamp it, lift it, stamp it again, and then I'm going to ink it up because I want to get another one. And it just makes it fuller, and it's different shades, so I think it adds a nice touch to it. So before we close that up, I'm also going to do the sentiment. So I have a piece of basic white. I'm using the same hexagon punch, and let's ink this up. I thought this fit nicely. I looked through some of my dies and punches to see what would fit, you know, this kind of sentiment, the direction it's in. So we're going to use this. And wouldn't you love to get this? Friends are flowers in the garden of life. Beautiful. All right, so let's close this up so we don't have any accidents with it. Did you ever do that? You're just about to stick everything down, or you did, and then you drop something in the ink pad. So this, again, we want to make sure the flap is down if you're making it in that direction. And we'll just put our inside layer down. And this is your 4 by 5 1/4, because the inside is our normal A2 size inside. All right, and then this is going to flip up here, close it, and then this one is 1 1/4 inch by 10 inches. So we're going to wrap it around. The other one I did by 9, and I felt like it was a little bit, maybe this is a little too long. I may cut it down. So I think 9 is a better size. I usually do it by 12, but I feel like this, I don't want it to show over. So I'm going to just take a 1/2 inch off on each side. So this will be 9 by 1 1/4. So I'm just taking a 1/2 inch off each side. I would have folded it differently if it was the 9. So you don't want too much overlap unless you have a big, like if this was going this way, it would be okay. But going this way, I want to make sure that it doesn't overlap too much. I want to be able to hide the seam and not have anything show below. So I'm going to fold it here, and then I'm going to burnish it. And make sure it's kind of straight here. And then we'll put this on. Look at how pretty. How pretty. All right, and I'm just going to put a little bit of, and this is a thinner paper. It's not like cardstock. Just make sure it goes up and down nicely. And then this we can put here, but I think I'll do ribbon like I did on this because I like that look. It just adds another little layer here. So the ribbon, is this linen ribbon, and I'll just wrap it around. So you like the seam in the front because then you're going to cover it. You know, it'd be okay to have the seam in the back, but, you know, then it's visible. So we like to cover as much as we can with things. So we're going to just put this over, have it hang over a little bit, get our ribbon scissors, and we'll leave that there. So we'll just put a little bit of glue here and lay this ribbon over it. And put a little glue on here. Okay, and then this will sit right on there nicely. So I'm going to put dimensionals, and I'm going to put them here so that I don't want them up here. I want to make sure that they're in the right place. So I decided I would put them right on this. Just take off the backing. And put this right here. Okay, and let's tie a bow. This was easy to tie. And I shouldn't say that till after I tie it. It is, you know, it's called linen, and it is like a linen. And let me get my scissors. I'll put it, I think I might put it right on the label and then put something here. So let's get our glue dots. So it comes together pretty easy. And we'll put this right here on the label. And then I thought I would use, these are the Starburst sequins, and the color is fresh freesia. I don't know if this is, so there's a white, a fresh freesia, and this might be crushed curry or daffodil delight, but I think it's crushed curry. I wish they had it on the back of here. They used to, so you can look in the catalog or look in online if you wanted to know. So let's see, we want to do a big one here, and maybe a little one. You can put them more on. I think I'm going to just leave it with those two. So these are our cards. I think they're fun. I would love to get something with that sentiment, right? And then you open it, and then it flips down. You write your little note in there. And then this one, same thing. You open it, and you flip it down. All right, so subscribe to my email list, and you can get the next month's calendar, and I'll be here next Friday. Not sure what I'm making yet. It'll be a surprise until you get the calendar. And I hope you have a wonderful week. I'll see you next Friday. Bye.